embryo. Well, that means this particular lady already has a little baby developing. Okay? Where's the little baby? The baby, the embryo is number 2. Yes.
Like, and the people there, right?
Wait.
Do nothing. It's just leading to nothing.
Okay. So why I asked, how come the rectum leads to nothing? Okay. So he was asking is the piku part. And this is the rectum. Sorry, this is the anus. This is the anus. Then how you ask, where does this lead to? Why does this seem to lead to nothing? It leads to something, but just it's not drawn. Where does it lead to? Okay, which part of the digestive system will it go to first? Okay, the rectum, the large intestine. Alright, so we go backwards, that's where you'll find it. So it doesn't lead to nothing. Okay, so the question asks which statement is true? First one, fertilization occurs at 1.
Wrong.
Okay, where is 1? Yeah?
So, where the parts are?
You mean I name the parts, is it? Okay, let's go through that. Okay. So let's look at all the parts of the system. Number 1. What is number 1? Number 1 is the uterus. Okay, so if you want to, you can label now or you can practice yourself. Number 2 is the embryo that has implanted itself or embedded itself onto the endometrium of the uterus. Number 7. Number 7 is the cervix. It is the opening of the uterus. Number 4 is the vagina. That's where the baby will come out from. Number 3 is the
urine part.
Yes, it's the urine part. What's it called? Yeah, it's called a urethra. No, it's called a urethra. Urethra. Number 6 is the ovary. Number 5 is the fallopian tube.
Wait, number 6 is what?
Alright, these are all the parts. Yes, Jaden?
What's the hole?
What's which one?
The last hole.
The last what?
The last hole.
What hole?
Over
That's
here.
the anus.
Why, it's as though you were not here for lessons eh?
Is that a news?
No, what's for 3?
Yeah, this one This one is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I draw the whiteboard
Oh,
That one is the
Yeah, it's anus Anus, vagina, vagina.
What?
But yeah, okay?
What?
Okay, listen, calm down. Okay, no, I'm not implying that a lady has 2 vaginas. Okay, so number 3 is the urethra. Number 4 is the vagina. Okay. Oh no, there's nothing wrong with what I just said. Sorry, there's something wrong with what I just said. Number 3 is not a vagina. Number 3 is the urethra. Okay, but the region where baby come out, or the broken down uterine lining, as well as urine, is around the same region, right? But it's 2 separate holes. So baby don't come out of the bladder, the urethra. Pee doesn't come out of the vagina. Okay. What do you mean not really? Yes, it's true. Okay, it's true. Then the last hole is for shit to come out. Okay, the last hole, 7. Not 7, huh? Oh, it's not labeled. The anus is for poop to come out. So there are 3 holes. Yes.
What's that shaded thing?
Oh, what's that shaded thing? Is pubic bone. It's the bone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the bone. Okay, so fertilization occurs at number 1. Fertilization does not occur at the uterus. It occurs where? At the fallopian tubes. Number 2, hormones are secreted at 6. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. Huh? Sperms are deposited at 3 after sexual intercourse. No, sperms don't go up the urethra. Okay? The whole of the urethra is very thin. The penis cannot go in. Okay, it's very thin. Number 4, urine is excreted along form. I say again, urine does not come out of the vagina. Okay, number 2, they ask you which times would she most likely conceive? Conceive means there's fertilization taking place. Conceive does not mean to give birth. Okay? That would be a bit too fast. Yeah?
So the fertilized egg, after it gets fused with the sperm, is fertilized again.
Yes.
So, like a fertilized egg come out of the ovary, right?
No. Egg comes out of the ovary first, then the sperm goes out of the fallopian tube, then fertilizes. Oh, okay. The sperm doesn't go into the ovary to find the egg. It doesn't, huh? It doesn't travel that far. The egg will come down first, and then the sperm meets it midway through at the fallopian tube. Actually, I'm not sure. I felt like I've read a case before where fertilization took place too high up. But it's an issue. Because if it happens too high up, imagine a baby developing at the fallopian tube area. You cannot get nutrients over there. Even if it gets fertilized, it likely cannot develop into a full baby because cannot get nutrients. Okay? So C is the period where likely fertilization will take place. How do you come up with C? Well, it's important to know when is the first day of period, which is on 29. Okay, from 29, you're going to count 14 days. On the 14th day should be when the egg is released. So the period should be around the period when the egg is released. Okay, starting from 29. Melanie, you got a question? Why is it not A, is it? Okay, so let's look at the days, 29. Okay, we count 14 days, Okay, so around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so day 11 is around the day. Okay, so day 11 is around the day. So if you choose A, right, 14 is out of the range,
No,
right?
it's May. Sure.
Oh, 29 May.
It's 14 to 17 May. So it can't be.
Oh, yes, that is May also. Yeah, because the first one is 14 to 17 May. It's not June. Yeah. Okay. So look at the dates carefully. There's a May, not June. Okay, next MCQ. The diagram shows the section of the male reproductive system. What will be the effect if structure X is removed? Structure X is the... Okay, it's a gland. A gland that starts with P. It is the... prostate. Okay, it's a prostate gland. It's the largest gland. Okay, the prostate gland. What will be the effect if X is removed? Okay, the answer is D. The sperms will be less active because the prostate gland produces nutrients.
No nutrients means less active.
Yeah. So the sperms won't die necessarily, but since it's not getting enough nutrients to be active, to be able to kick around using its flagella, the tail. Okay, why can't it be C, less testosterone produced? Because testosterone is produced by the testicles. Fewer sperms can be stored. That's not a function of the prostate gland. Sperms are stored where? It's stored at the I think I spelled this wrongly.
Wrong. Why in the I slot place?
There are many eyes.
The after the D. Yeah.
Fewer sperms are formed. The testicles produce the sperm, not the prostate gland. You know, bulls, because testosterone gives bulls, they're very male characteristic, make them very like violent.
So they come off.
Yeah, so they really just chop off the bull's testicles.
But they,
Then they become more calm, less hormones produced.
but it's a cruisy.
What?
Are you cruisy?
Okay, the next question asks you to label A, B, C, and D. Okay, what's A, B, C, and D? Ready? Okay, Jaden, what is A?
Vagina.
Yeah, okay. You must say it loud and confidently. Okay, you're right. Okay, everyone. So how do you spell it? There's A. B. What is B? Okay. What is C? Oh, okay lah. Okay. Okay. But I prefer fallopian tube. Okay, D. What is D? Sounds more cheap, sorry. Womb. Womb. Okay, we call it uterus, Okay, we only call it the womb once there's an embryo and a baby. The womb actually is not there yet. The womb needs to form. Okay, the womb only forms after a baby is present. The womb it consists of the baby, and then there's this sac called amniotic sac that you learn in upper GH. It's this little pouch that baby will be stored in within the uterus. That is the womb. And then that's why sometimes you all hear, oh, water bag burst. That's the pouch bursting. Okay, so when you were a baby inside your mommy, actually you are not breathing using your lungs. Your mom's blood was channeled straight to you, containing oxygen, so you don't breathe through your lungs yet. When the water bag bursts, then you come out of your mom, that's when you take your first breath of air. Yeah, do you remember that day? I remember it clearly, just like yesterday. The fresh, right, the smell of oxygen flooding my lungs. Okay, so how do you draw the endometrium? You're supposed to draw the endometrium, right? You read the question for Okay, you're supposed to draw the endometrium. This is how you should draw it. Wait, not one line. Okay, you should draw 3 lines. The endometrium actually forms on all sides of the wall.
Do you shade it?
Don't need to shade, just draw pen right. Okay, so one thing to take note, this is the uterus. Okay, when you draw the endometrium, you draw at the sides. However, I don't wish for you to draw it so thick, right, until it blocks the fallopian tube opening. Okay, so not too thick, Okay, shouldn't block the fallopian tube opening. Got it? So instead, it should be just thick enough, with enough space for the sperms to go through. Yeah? Oh, did we ask you to label? Then it's fine. Okay? Yes? Oh, yeah?
My thing, right, is that it starts lower and it ends higher. So it's like smaller. You can, right?
It starts lower.
So it starts lower, like on the top.
Oh, you come and draw. I'm going to go to the next question first. Yes? Shamin? Oh, okay. Remember, biological drawings don't shade. Okay, but this time around, it's okay. Okay, but don't shade. Can you write down somewhere? Don't shade. Oh, okay. Okay, at least how you got the location correct, but it's a little bit odd. You don't develop to this shape. It's not like 3 pounds steaming inside the. Okay, so not so round and thick. It kind of evenly spreads out along the uterus. Okay. Alright, so what's the function of the endometrium? It is to supply nutrients to support the growth or development of the fetus.
Can you just write to supply the fetus with nutrients?
Yes, that's fine too. Yeah. Yeah. Any other ways of phrasing your answer? Somebody else. Instead of what? Instead of the fetus. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. Fetus without the O. Okay, can. Sorry, somebody, Emma, your question? Which is? Okay. Yeah? Fertilized egg is not a fetus, huh? Hold on, yes? Okay, but for what? Then that will be complete. Okay, so what's the difference between a fetus and a fertilized egg? There's a slight difference, huh? No, there's a big difference. Okay, so listen up. This is the egg. This is the sperm. When both of them come together, you get a single cell called zygote or fertilized egg. This can then divide many times.
What's that?
Right, in your textbook, they will have written that this will develop into a ball of cells, ball of many cells called blastocyst. And then this ball of cells will develop into even more cells, into a one multicellular organism. Okay? And this is a fetus. So a fetus is the beginnings of the baby already. You can start to see structures start to form, the heart, the lungs, small little limbs coming out. Fetus is later in the stage. Yes?
How do they find out they're fertilized?
Sorry?
How do they find out they're fertilized?
They can do scans. Yeah, they can do scans. Yes?
If the newly fertilized egg is zygote, then what is the embryo?
Oh, okay.
At what point do you know?
Thank you. I think I skipped one more step. So between the blastocyst and the fetus, there's still a little bit more. Okay, an even smaller version. Okay, embryo. Okay, so fetus is much later. Maybe I should include a little bit more features. Maybe the next start to appear.
That's just creepy. Wait, Mr. Tan, if that's colleague, then what's the thing? That's a really large.
Okay, say the changes that occur in the female reproductive system during puberty. Okay, so what are some changes? 总之 Okay, endometrium start to build up every month and break down. That's it. Eggs will be released from the ovaries. Good, that's the second point. How many marks with this question? 2 marks. So you should put at least 2 points. But any other features that you brought up? Anyone else? Is any others? Yes. Endometrium starts to form, is it? Okay, you should put down the breaking down part also. Yeah. Yours kind of implies that it grows and then it stays there. Okay, Melanie? Menstruation begins occurring, right? That's okay. The idea that it's building up and breaking down. Yeah.
We need to state like fall and break down every month.
Don't need every month, but if you say that menstruation occurs, it's good enough already. Well, okay, you should. More progesterone will be produced. Okay, that's fair enough. Yes?
Right, like the ovaries start to release egg every month, which cause the endometrium to form.
Egg, is it? Release egg, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Okay, female sex hormones like progesterone and estrogen start to begin to release. Okay, yeah. Okay, so ovaries can start to produce a hormone. Menstruation can begin to occur, or you can say the endometrial uterine lining break down, build up. You can talk about the ovaries releasing eggs, or another way to say is ovulation. So many of the features that you just brought up also. How yeah?
I said like ovary begin to result in the endometrium to form. Is that counted as two figures?
That is 1.5, because the second point, endometrium form, but I think you should also mention that it will break down. That's part and parcel of the female reproductive system. And, the endometrial layer will build up, break down, build up, break down, the cycle. Egg. But in your case, what do you say? The egg is formed.
No, I said we release an egg, so it causes the endometrium to form because it breaks.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, but if no fertilization occur, the endometrial layer will break down.
But does endometrium only occur because an egg forms?
Usually that's the case.
So if for the one like for whatever reason no egg to be and endometrium still be.
I think, okay, because whether endometrium forms or not depends on whether a certain amount of hormones are high in levels. And the amount of hormones can also affect whether egg is released. So in a sense, it's the hormones that will result in whether these two things will happen or not. Okay? Okay, last question. Tubule ligation is one of the methods for permanent growth control in females. Describe what happens when we carry out tubule ligation. The male version of it is called vasectomy.
Oh,
And what do they cut in the male? Good, the vas deferens, huh? Someone once told me the penis. Okay, when you carry out vasectomy, you are snipping the vas deferens that's connected to the testicles. Okay, then I have a question for you. After it's snip, right, what do they do? Okay, must try. So some students think, right, after they snip, right, they just leave it like that. Cannot, infection will occur. So you need to tie up, stitch it up, so that no infection will occur. Yes?
Can you say sew it together?
Okay, sure. So what together?
No, like I say cut off the fallopian tube and sew it together.
If you sew it together,
Wait,
then
but okay, so you are saying this is a fallopian tube I cut and then I sew back.
Yeah, but when you sew that hole, it's so like this.
Oh, okay, but that's not what's done. They actually cut it, then after that they seal off both ends.
therefore like it just
Wait, we go and get out, please.
What will we go and get out of this?
We go.
Okay, so now one thing you should take note of is this. The ovaries, okay, this is a fallopian tube, right? Then the ovary is here. The ovary is actually not connected to the fallopian tube per se. Actually, there are ligaments holding the ovary up. So when you snip this, it's not to say that the ovary will start floating around in the female. Okay? There are ligaments that hold the ovary in place. When you snip this, you're just sealing off the pathway for sperms to go and fertilize. You share?
So if you don't say that the fallopian tubes are cut and sealed, like if you just exclude the sealed part, you won't get the mark.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Okay, so you cannot just cut. Okay, but there are 3 points over here, so any one of the two will do. Yes?
Can I write that the sperm cannot reach the egg, and the egg and sperm are blocked at the place the fallopian tube is cut.
That's not 2 marks.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
So they can get like the full 2 marks, or like 2 marks.
I think I'll give you 1 mark.
It's not supposed to.
Yeah, I think I'll give you 1 mark. Yes, Shermin? What on, Shermin? Yeah, so each line can warrant you 1 mark. Caleb? Oh, so do they reach the hand in to cut? No, usually they'll make a small incision, then insert one, maybe the tip of the scissors or whatnot, then insert a camera, then they'll snip from there.
Then how would it tie?
Also, nowadays they just put in thin metal rods and then they use camera and then they tie it from outside.
Metal rods.
Okay, sorry, you have a question there, Xavier?
So just now, Harry doesn't know why the egg is untitled.
Why the egg is
No, I know now, I know now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not the egg.
Yeah.
It's a huge egg.
Oh, okay. So after they sew, actually the stitches, nowadays there are stitches that will disintegrate. So after they sew already, what will happen is that it will seal off. Alright? It will start to heal and then it will seal off and then it will become there will be no more opening. So actually it won't open up. It won't open up again. Just like how sometimes you get a very big cut, right? Then if you were to go and get stitches, it's not like the stitch will come off very easily. After a while, the cut itself will also seal. So usually we stitch things if the cut is too big so that it can give more time for the wound to heal. Okay, fully. Okay, I don't want to damage your notes. So, could everyone pass your quiz first? Pass your quiz to the front first. The notes I will collect separately then. Okay, I'll collect notes separately. Yes, Dylan?
Would it ever happen that I'm editing like this comes off and it goes like that?
Unlikely. Yeah. Okay, pass your quiz to the front. Okay, once you pass the quiz to the front, you can also pass your notes after that. Yeah? Yeah. Ladies, can we stop the recording?
Wait, it's not what? Oh, sorry, okay.